Hey guys, The Comics Kid 2099 here, where I usually talk about an episode of a superhero animated series on Saturdays. Today, after 4 years of dissecting episodes of Batman the Animated Series, and then the new Batman Adventures, I'm here to talk about the final episode, Judgment Day. So if you haven't seen the episode and you want to, go do it before I spoil stuff. Or maybe you have seen the episode, but you want a reminder of what went down, so you need the quick refresher before I get into the meat of the review. Either way, you've been warned. A new costume crime buster called The Judge is on the scene, busting heads like the Penguin, Killer Croc, and the Riddler. He's got a friend in the legal system, Councilman Corcoran, who is giving the judge leads on the whereabouts of these villains. We don't really know where he got the leads of these villains, but that doesn't matter. When the judge almost kills Batman and Two-Face, Batman goes after the judge in earnest, only to find out that he is Two-Face, who has developed a third persona deeply buried inside in order to fight crime. Corcoran is caught with his pants down after he admitted to Two-Face that he had been stealing from people, and the day is saved thanks to the Powerpuff Girls. So first things first, yeah, this is the last episode of the series, and yeah, in the 1990s, folks didn't make a big deal about that sort of thing with animated series. The people who made these shows even said that they just made enough episodes so that they could syndicate for all eternity, and then they were golden. They didn't have to do a big, huge, grand finale episode back then. So if you're looking at this episode and you're thinking it's going to have a big punch to it since it's wrapping up the definitive action cartoon of the 1990s and the series that began the DC animated universe, which ran for 14 years, you will be disappointed. That's not to pass any judgment, pun intended, on the quality of this episode, though. Just that if you're looking at it as a series finale, well, it won't cut the mustard. But as for the quality of the episode itself, there are some things here that I like quite a bit. I really like the dichotomy the corrupt councilman has with the judge. When he compares his partnership to Gordon and Batman's, it made me realize that that's something that we've never really seen in any Batman story before or since, or at least not that I know of. We've seen evil politicians act as a foil for Gordon, and we've seen costume vigilantes take things in a more extreme direction to act as a foil for Batman, like the Phantasm from Mask of the Phantasm, or the Jason Todd Red Hood. But I don't think we've ever had an anti-Gordon team up with an anti-Batman before. And I liked it so much in just 22 minutes that I really wish we could have seen something like this play out over an extended period of time, either in a television series that is more serialized than this one, or in the comics where those serial ongoing plots can take years to fully blossom. In that kind of setting, you could really explore the legality of Batman and vigilantes in general. Yes, we as the audience know that Batman is making Gotham safer in our heart of hearts, but if the police just let him do whatever he wants, then what's to stop Councilman Corcoran from doing the same thing with his own pocket vigilante? And at what point do you say, nope, he's taking things too far, let's take him down? I think that sort of story would be neat to explore in an ongoing setting. Unfortunately, that's really all that I did like about this episode. The reveal that the judge is actually Two-Face doesn't really work for me for a few reasons. One, that whole thing I was talking about where you dissect the legality of Batman and whether other vigilantes should be allowed free reign also, I feel like that's all a little too tidy when you reveal that this guy is a villain with plenty of priors under his belt. Oh, he's a bad guy? Then let's lock him up. But what if he wasn't Two-Face? Would this episode have had as neat of a bow on it? Or would this guy have been free to go about as he pleased? You could say the police would turn him in with attempted murder, but he had attempted murder a few times already in this episode, and nobody made any attempts to arrest him. I don't know, I just feel like making the anti-Batman an established villain who the cops are already going to want to arrest just weakens the whole Batman anti-Batman thing, but maybe that's just me. Also, what exactly prompted the creation of Two-Face's third persona? One thing many people, myself included, really liked about Two-Face from the early days of Batman the Animated Series was that his illness seemed genuine and not just something the writers hacked together without any research. He always had Big Bad Harv lurking in the back of his head, but it was Rupert Thorne's attempt on his life that brought Big Bad Harv to the forefront. That seemed plausible even to someone like me who doesn't know anything about split personalities and multiple personality disorders. But this makes no sense at all, either completely isolated or in context of the rest of the series. Does Two-Face just suddenly have another personality show up, or did something traumatic happen to cause this, like when his face was scarred? Either way, this episode doesn't bother explaining what happened. Probably because the reveal comes about 1 minute before the end of the episode, so they didn't really have time to explain what happened. But that doesn't make this reveal any less problematic. Overall, this episode has some really cool ideas, like the Batman anti-Batman thing, and the ideas of a new, meaner generation of superheroes failing to measure up to the old guard, like in Kingdom Come. But the execution of those ideas, as well as some pretty bad ideas itself, makes this episode not one of the best. Not awful, but not a great note to end on either. So those are my thoughts. What did you guys think of the episode and of my review? If you like this review, I encourage you to check out some of my other reviews of superhero animated shows. I've done Batman Beyond, Batman the Animated Series, and the Legion of Superheroes. And if that's not enough, next week I'll be tackling the mystery of the Batwoman movie, so look forward to that. And throughout the week I do other videos as well, so check those out if you're interested. In the meantime, you guys have a great rest of your day. Catch you later.